and welcome once again to Art Attack, the Big Art Show. Do you want to see one of my all-time favourite art attacks? Forget piggy banks, this is the Art Attack Dinosaur Bank. Come and have a look at this. Blow up a balloon to roughly the same size as an Easter egg, but definitely smaller than your head. Then take 2 loo roll tubes, cut them in half, and tape them together so you have something that looks like that. And then tape them to one side of the balloon. So a bit of tape on there, and onto the side of the balloon. And there you have the legs and the body of the dinosaur. And then take a felt tip pen and very carefully draw a rectangle on the top of a balloon. Now it needs to be about 1 centimetre by 4 centimetres. It doesn't have to be neat, and that'll be the slot where your money goes later on. Then take some scrap paper that's roughly the same length as the balloon and crunch it up and bend it slightly. And you need to do 2 of those because I'm going to tape one of them to one end of the balloon, like that, when it stands still. For the neck, you just need to bend it up. There it is. And then the other to the other end of the balloon and bend that down for the tail. And the good thing about paper is that if your neck flops, just bend it up again because it's good stuff to model with. And there it is. And that's roughly the shape of your dinosaur. Now the good bit, the messy bit. Take some lengths of loo roll and start to wrap it around the dinosaur shape. Just wrap it all the way round, apart from the slot at the top. You'll see why in a minute. And then just slop on some PVA glue, mix 2 parts glue with 1 part water. And you've seen me do this before. Just slop the glue on, and what it does, it sort of disintegrates the tissue paper, or the loo paper, and binds it to the shape underneath, which is the shape of the dinosaur. And just keep slopping on the PVA and slopping on the loo paper, and you'll probably need 3 or 4 layers of loo paper. That's roughly equivalent to 1 whole loo roll's worth of paper. Slop on your PVA glue all over your dinosaur, apart from the slot, and when it's finished, it will look something like that. Look at that. And then take 2 small balls of scrap paper and just dip them into the glue, put them on the top of the head for eyes. There's one there and one there, and then start to slop on some paint. Now I'm using acrylic paint here, but you can use poster paint. In fact, any type of paint you like, but I find acrylic paint is best first. And I'm doing this in a sort of green and yellow blotch colour. And who's to say dinosaurs weren't that colour, eh? Little experiment. Nobody really knows, do they? I'm just going over the whole of the dinosaur. And you see there, there's even the slot at the top where I didn't put any paper before. So go over the whole of the dinosaur, apart from the eyes, and when it's finished, you'll have something that looks like that. And I didn't paint the eyes, I painted them white with a little black dot in the middle. I've covered the whole thing with another layer of PVA glue, which gives it this very sort of hard finish and a nice shiny finish. And there it is, and you're ready to pop your money in. And where does the money go? Well, it goes in the slot, but you have to pop the balloon first, through the slot. There we go. There it is. And you pop your money into the slot. And if you need to get your money out, just tip your dinosaur upside down, make a hole through one of his legs, get the money out, and then repair it using exactly the same process: glue, tissue paper, and paint. And there it is, the Art Attack Dinosaur Bank. Try it yourself. And of course, you can experiment using different cut-out cardboard shapes and tape them to the balloon. And in fact, you could even invent your own dinosaur. An Art Attackosaurus. Go on then, have a go. A dinosaur bank. Right, plop those down there. Got that, got that, got that. I've been dying to try this one out on you all week. All you need is a photograph from a magazine or a poster of anyone you like, famous person, pop star, but the picture must be roughly the same size as your face and looking to the front. So okay, let's have a look at what we've got here then. Now, that's looking forward, good picture, but it's too small, so we get rid of that. Bring that one in. Now that's a good size, same size as my face, but he's looking to one side, so that's no good. What about this poster? Well, that's perfect. It's just a bit bigger than my head, which is good, and it's looking to the front, so I'll use that one. So okay, when you've chosen your picture, what you need to do is you need to stick it onto some card. I'm going to do this using some of this sticky stuff. I'm just going to splash it on there. So I'm going to show you what to do. You notice I'm just sticking the top half on. We'll see why in a minute. Then you take a pen and you draw right round the edge of the head, going all the way round the hairline there, right round the top, all the way round the head. Cut the ears off, and then you go across the eye, just across the bottom of the eye, across the bridge of the nose, again across the bottom of the eye as if you were drawing glasses on it, and back to the beginning. Then you draw circles around the pupils of the eye, the black bits in the middle, and then you cut all of that out, and you're left with something that looks like that. You notice I've even done the eyes. Then you turn it over, you have the card on the back, take two lengths of string, roughly about 40 centimetres each. That's it. I always get tied up with the string. Get some sellotape, put the sellotape onto the string there, put it on there, and then it is ready. Are you ready? Here we go. Boom! Brilliant, isn't it, eh? What a weird effect. Now, the reason that this works is because it's a photograph and the colour of the skin blends in with my own skin. Now, if you think that is weird, just take a look at that. That is my own photograph. It still looks very strange, doesn't it? Try it yourself. Why not give your mates a mask attack? Now, are you like me, one of those terrible, untidy people who can never find where you've put things? What we need is the complete filing system. And here it is. Come and have a look at this. Take one of these cardboard envelope files that you can get from any stationery shop, or in fact you could use an old one, and just carefully prise apart the glued edges down the side. And there's your file. Now, if you're just going to make one file, you only need one of these. But if you're going to make a complete filing system, then keep this one as a template to draw around onto some other pieces of paper. Now, you can use any type of paper for this. Newspaper, scrap paper, wallpaper. It doesn't have to be good paper. And then take each file and decide what the file's going to be. Now, in this case, it's going to be a hobby file. And my hobby is sport. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some pictures that I've torn out of magazines, just coloured pictures there, nice and shiny, of different sports. And I've torn them out in interesting shapes. You don't have to take them, you can cut them out. I'm just going to paste them onto the cardboard, onto the file itself, using PVA glue. Now this, again, it's just the ordinary white school glue you get in the squidgy bottles. Now you probably notice here, I'm also pasting over the pictures. Well, that's all part of this technique. In fact, I think this technique is called découpage, which is French for découpage. And just keep building up your file, putting more pictures onto it, and just stick the pictures onto your file, front and back, both sides. And when you've completely covered it, and covered it in PVA glue, leave it to dry overnight, and it should look something like that. Look at that. And you can see why I've pasted the glue over the pictures, because you've got this nice shiny finish where the PVA glue has gone hard, and it's made it sort of really rugged and it's protected it nicely there. So fold the file back into shape, and then you glue it down the original edges that were glued. Glue down there, glue down there, leave that to dry, and when that's completely dry, you will have, there it is, a hobby file. And you can just slot magazine pictures or press cuttings of your favourite hobby inside your hobby file. Now, if it's going to be part of a complete file system, what you need to do is attach a coat hanger to the top flap. So just threading it on up to that crease there, and just stick a bit of tape on there just to show you how it's done. You can make more of a neat job out of it. So that's the first file, and then if you thread some string through the bottom of the file, because these files all have holes at the bottom. Just thread the string through, or you can use ribbon. I suppose you could tape it as well. And just tie it at the bottom. I'll just do a quick knot to show you. Bring the next file in when you make that. In this case, it's a comic file, look at that, to keep the old comics in. I'm just going to thread that up through the string, there, like that. And just tape that again, down the crease, bend it over, and there you have the second file in your system. And just keep building up your complete file system, one after the other, and you can make up to 4 or 5 files, and when it's finished, you'll have something that looks like that. Look at that. And we start up at the top here. There's the old comic file for the old comics. I like collecting old comics. Look at that. This is one of my favourite files. This is a food file for recipes. Always thinking of my stomach. Down here, we've got letter file for pen letters. And down there, a pop file. And right down there, at the bottom, where it deserves to go, the homework file. And just stick your file up on a hook in your bedroom, on the back of your door, or if you want to keep it as a secret filing system, keep it in your wardrobe, hang it up, and no one gets to look at it. Try it yourself. The complete filing system. I have discovered how to make ordinary drawing paper look like an ancient document, a bit like this one. And the secret is stock cubes. Now all you need is an ordinary sheet of paper and tear it all round the edges. Now you don't have to be neat, you can make it as ragged as you like, because the idea is to make it look as if the paper is really old. So there it is, just finish that off there. And then, the good bit, I love doing this, put some cracks in the paper. You ever seen those old parchments? They look as if they've been cracked through the ages. So there it is, just flick away, tear away, put some cracks in your paper. And lay it down, take your stock cube and crumble it into some warm water. There it is, you don't need much water, just got a little saucer full here, and you only need 1 stock cube. And just mix it in so that it looks like a paste. And then just paste it on to your piece of paper. Now, you can see all these finger marks that I'm creating here. Doesn't matter at all, because it all creates to the final finished effect of your document. Just smear it on, rub it in, right in the corners. You can even see those little blobs of stock cube that are on there. That doesn't matter either, because when they dry, they look like little bits of old parchment. There it is. Now you've got to do this on both sides, and then put it to one side to dry, and when it's dry, it looks something like this. Look at that. Already it's 100 years old. Now what about the writing? Have you ever noticed the way the writing on those old documents, the first letter is always very fancy? Well, I've discovered the secret to that too. Bread. All you do is you cut a square of bread, about 2 centimetres by 2 centimetres, and you get some poster paint. Now I've mixed this with a little bit of water, and you simply paint onto the bread. Again, this is great fun to do. It is, get your brush stuck in there so that you brush the paint